Charlotte's Morning News. In depth.
Jim McTevia has written something called The Culture of Debt in our homes and in our government. It's interesting. My 100-year-old uncle, we lost him recently, hated debt. He said that Americans buying homes at 3 and 4 times their salary on credit was bad for this country. Jim McTevia, you would agree?
Very much so. As I was thinking, the greatest event in my parents' history was when they burned the mortgage on their home. And nowadays, not having a mortgage on your home is bad tax planning.
Yeah, it's almost unthinkable. But is there a lesson to be learned in that, perhaps? Because it's hard to imagine someone not carrying a mortgage at all.
I've lived for 50 years working with people with serious financial problems and businesses, and I've always said that there's good debt and bad debt. Good debt is the debt that helps you accomplish things in life. Not many people can afford to buy a home and pay cash for it. Not many people can afford to buy a car and pay cash for it. But the kind of debt that I'm referring to is when you buy a car, 20% is what you mortgage, not what you put down. And these no down payment mortgages on homes just don't work.
But that you're asking America to do a completely different mindset than they have right now. They're fine with 20% down.
Well, look where we are with that mentality.
You're right.
We truly have a society that lives so many light years in the future, and we're watching what happens in Congress now. We're all kind of waiting to see what this debt commission is going to recommend. And we're all very critical of Washington, but I'm very critical of our society because the folks in Washington didn't learn to do what they do in Washington when they go to Washington. They had become consumers first, and they learned to spend money that didn't belong to them long before they got to Washington.
What's the fix? Is it just education, or is it just us, making our minds up to change?
That's the key word. People say to me, well, what are we going to do? What's the ultimate solution here? The solution is in the children. The children are inheriting this horrible heritage of debt. And it is through educating children that you absolutely can't have what you can't afford.
Jim McTevia, The Culture of Debt, and that is linked up. Go to WBT.com, click on Charlotte's Morning News.